Hello, I'm Hunter Matson, and today I will be giving you my persuasive speech. History happens around us all the time and occurs nearly 24/7. Almost every single day, there is some form of historical event happening, such as recently the pandemic with the coronavirus. It's important to recognize and remember these, so if we have successes, we know how to replicate them, and if we see failures, we know how to avoid them. The best way to view history is through first-hand accounts. I'm talking, of course, about American battlefields. American battlefields are the best way to remember our history, as we have many of them, 100 in fact, over 100 in fact, ranging from the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, and the Civil War. There's one from World War II in Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, but it's off the 48th Continental and is only one area. And that's why it's important to preserve that one. It is already preserved, and therefore I will not be talking about it. Imagine if the over 100 battlefields on our 48th Continental were suddenly replaced by something stupid, such as a strip mall or an office building. Battlefields show key points in where history was created, many of which include key figures as well. A story by Bob Zeller, an editor at American Battlefield Trust, tells the story of the Civil War in 1864. In Bryce Crossroads, Mississippi, Confederate General Nathan Bedford fought off 8,100 men with only a mere 3,500 cavalry. This secured a supply line from Mississippi to Tennessee. While this did not turn the tides or even end the battle or the war, it did show the might of the South at the time, and therefore created a legend for those local people. Unfortunately, the battlefield was eventually became grassland and became roaming ground for cattle. Another story by Ashley Moore in 2019 tells the story of many important buildings that have either crumbled, fallen to antiquity, or have just flat out been destroyed. One example would be the Globe Theatre. This is where Shakespeare showed off his amazing plays such as Romeo and Juliet, King Lear, and many others. This building caught fire and was eventually destroyed, of course, from fire. And while it was replaced, it is not the same Globe Theatre where he performed. Another building would be the New York Hippodrome, and of course New York City. This is where Harry Houdini pulled off his incredible feats and vanishing tricks. And after he, I guess, did his final act, the building just eventually faded into antiquity and was eventually demolished and replaced with an office building. The same could happen to our battlegrounds if we are not careful. While we could protest and do maybe violent acts, a more reasonable option is available. That is American Battlefield Trust. A story written on their webpage tells the story of how they saved Bryce Crossroads, Mississippi in 1998. They bought it out and saved it from roaming fields. They also installed a visitor center and also several keystones, which tell the story of the statistics, the people involved, as well as exactly what happened there, exactly where it occurred. And the place is still readily available to visit today, of course, as long as we're not under quarantine. Another article written in January 2019 by Jim Campy and Nicole Ryan tells a story of their 2018 successes. They saved over 50,000 acres of battlefield in the United States, some of which are very local, which include Chattanooga and Chickamauga. They also advise local students to visit those areas to experience exactly what happened in their local hometown. What can you do to ensure our history is saved? Volunteering or donating is a viable option. Many local museums do take donations of any amount, especially small amounts, because they're community museums. Donations are also good on tax write-offs. Volunteering can help your community especially. But volunteering in local museums, you can help give tours, give lessons, or even go visit other areas and collect information. Some also offer jobs jobs in these areas, so you can do this for a living if you want to. It's also easy to help American Battlefield Trust like this. They have many ways you can help, but primarily donating. Small amounts, which will give you a newsletter, medium-sized amounts, which will give you a magazine, and several other perks. However, if you donate large amounts, they'll flat out just invite you over and come visit that battlegrounds you helped save. I have given many important statements as to why you should help preserve your history, as well as how you can donate and volunteer. We are the volunteer state after all. You can help save our history today by donating just a little bit of money or just a little bit of your time. Help make sure that our future knows of our past. Thank you for listening.